Is that Callie running around there? Little Callie girl. And we got Bubba and Dewey. So what are we doing today?
We're gonna fill our other raised bed and plant our seeds.
What do you mean the other one?
The other one that I built.
Why is the other one filled though?
Because Jake came over and showed us how to fill it properly. And I only had so many seeds that we could plant, but I got the rest of our seeds. So we're gonna plant some greens and a bunch of other stuff.
Cool. So you can check out the video where we do the first one on Hannah's channel. So I'll link that down below.
They're not gonna want to watch the same thing twice though.
Yeah, but Jake is probably better at explaining this stuff than we are. Good morning guys. All right, what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be working on our other 4x8 raised bed. So we did the other one last weekend with Jake, and he has one of the best recipes for creating the most nutrient rich and just like the best soil to grow your fruits, your vegetables, your herbs, and all that kind of stuff in.
Fruits, beans, greens.
All that kind of stuff. So we're gonna be filling it up and we're gonna basically kind of explain how we're doing it and the mixture that we're using. And the mixture, or the recipe that we're using, is something that Jake has been using for a number of years, and it's something that he's learned from a lot of guys who are like professional gardeners. And I would consider Jake to be almost a professional. He says it's a hobby. If you saw the tour of his video,
like 7 years or something.
It's been about 4 or 5 years that he's been gardening now. So basically what we're gonna get started with is we're gonna get, so these are 11-pound bricks of coconut core. And
beats peat moss.
so what this stuff here is, it's just basically ground up coconut husks is what I believe that it is. And it's actually a sustainable product as opposed to peat moss, which is not renewable. So what the coconut core does is it just allows the soil to retain more moisture, which is definitely really important in our climate because it's so dry here. And we also want to water as little as we have to, and we don't want the majority of it just being evaporated into the sky. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut these open, let them soak in water, and then we're gonna start putting the main kind of like base layer of compost in the raised bed. Yeah, you work that hose, baby. You work it. All right, this is gonna be a question for you guys because I'm sure some of you will know. All right, so this here is raised bed and potting mix. This stuff here is garden compost blend. This stuff here, 100% organic compost. Like, what's the difference between all these like different soils that you can get from nurseries or from Home Depot or Lowe's? If you can let us know like what the difference is, that'd be great because we have no idea. You go at it, girl. So what we're gonna be doing is the bottom half is just gonna be straight compost, and then the upper half is gonna be like a lasagna. So think of it like that. It's gonna be like a layer of worm castings, coconut core, azomite, more compost, more worm castings, coconut core.
Sand, ash.
Yeah, sand and ash. We're just gonna get some like crazy awesome mixture so that we have like the best vegetables and fruits and beans and all that kind of stuff.
So the next thing that we're gonna add is a bag of earthworm castings, which is basically just the sheddings of worms. And this just helps provide more like nutrients into the soil. All right, next we're gonna add in this coconut core that we rehydrated. And like Derek said, this is just going to help the soil and the bed retain more moisture. Because raised beds actually need a lot more water than something you would put in the ground because they lose moisture a lot faster just because they're up off the ground.
And a lot of people are wondering why we're doing raised beds in an arid climate. And I guess probably the only reason is just to try it out and see how it works. And we're gonna also do like sunken beds as well. So we'll just kind of see how.
A lot of people have raised beds though, like Jake and Joe, and
yeah,
they're good for growing like greens and stuff. We're not gonna grow potatoes or anything in here.
because that would just, yeah, that would just kind of be like a waste of like really good space.
What we're gonna do for that is actually dig like 2 or 3 feet down.
Probably 2, I'd say. 3's getting pretty deep.
Yeah, but then you have 3 feet of potatoes.
That's true too.
We'd have a ton of potatoes. We'd never have to buy any.
Imagine if we didn't have to buy any potatoes. Actually, if we didn't have to buy potatoes and rice, our food bill would be a lot less probably. And like some vegetables as well.
Honestly though, I was telling Derek that yesterday that the majority of our food bill, and probably the majority of like anyone's food bill that's on a vegan diet, is your greens, your broccoli, your herbs, your mushroom, like things that like that. Especially because you're buying typically organic and you go through them so much faster just because they're not as calorically dense as like potatoes or rice. We buy rice 100 pounds at a time and we don't go through it. Like every time that I go to the store, I'm buying greens, I'm buying peppers, I'm buying tomatoes, I'm buying all this kind of stuff. So this is really the most expensive stuff, and if you can grow a ton of it at home, then you can save a ton of money. So my goal actually is to be able to just not buy any of this stuff. So only to eat like our greens, our peppers, our beans, our tomatoes, all that kind of stuff seasonally, and then just buy rice. That would be epic if you could do that.
So we're just taking the azomite rock dust here. Let me change this camera. So we're just gonna take some of the azomite rock dust. So this puts like minerals, it's got like over 70 trace minerals in it. And we're just gonna sprinkle that in here. And it's just rock dust, so it's just crushed up rock. And we're just sprinkling it like fairy dust here. Yeah, I'll leave some links to definitely the azomite. You can buy it on Amazon in 40-pound bags.
You can buy the coconut core and worm castings.
Yeah.
Which Jake kind of gave us a good idea because we have so much space that we could actually start a worm farm here, which is totally vegan. It's not like you're killing the worms or anything, you're just feeding them and then using their worm castings. So in the future we might have a big worm farm. So.
Who knows? So we've got our first lasagna layer here. Did we forget anything?
No.
No? Okay. So then we'll start more compost, another bag of worm castings, more coconut core, more rock dust, and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do 3 layers here.
And then at the very end we'll add some of our native sand and some of our fire pit ash. Because apparently fire pit ash is like really good for raised beds or just any garden in general. Because when, I think Jake said when the wood burns, it condenses it, so it's basically like another layer of azomite or something. And to mix it all around.
Dewey, hey, come on. Do your thing. We think, what did we used to think about Dewey? Dewey is a wizard.
He is.
He is.
And he could always bring like rain. Remember?
Yeah, we'd be like, Dewey, we want some rain. Do your wizard powers.
And then it would rain. Or we'd be like, we need a good day so we can go cycling, and then it'd be like the nicest day out there. It's funny how everybody's like, you guys have great soil. I can stand. Apparently sand is good though.
It's much better than clay.
Yeah.
If we had clay soil, ugh, it's a bitch, like, If you go to the, on the other side of the mound over there, it's just all clay. And it's just like, it doesn't drain, so water pools on top of it, and it's very difficult to work with. Like that was Jake's soil. All right, so in the last layer, we added in some of the sand, or native soil, and then we added in some, what is it called?
Fire ash.
Fire ash. Ash from our fire pit. And then we're gonna finish it off just with one more bag of compost. And then we're gonna plant some seeds. So what are you planting?
Okay. So in this bed, we are going to plant spinach. We got 2 different kinds of spinach.
You mean there's multiple varieties of spinach?
There's hundreds of varieties of spinach.
No way.
And where we actually get our seeds is from this website called rareseeds.com. And they're all heirloom seeds, so they're just different varieties, like things that you're not going to find in the grocery store, which I think is probably the best thing about growing your own food, is that you can just get all different kinds of cucumbers and tomatoes and peppers and greens and things that you've never tried before. And I actually found like a lot of Korean stuff on there, which...
Oh, Mommy Tang would love it then.
Yeah, but they're just typical varieties that you can't, you know, really find in the store. So...
Somebody also just linked us to Native Seeds, which is a store in Tucson, and you can order online from them as well. And then they'll just be seeds that are native to Arizona.
Area.
So we're definitely gonna go check them out, get some seeds and stuff for. I think they have like a nice like a native corn that you can grow here that grows well, and then you have also got varieties of corn that you got from Rare Seeds.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about gardening is that you can just plant a wide variety of things that you've just never seen before. Like, you know, when we get to like growing tomatoes and stuff, we'll probably have a number of different varieties of tomatoes and like strawberries.
I got
and
like 15 different kinds of
15.
tomatoes. So we'll probably have an entire bed of tomatoes in the summer, and what we're actually gonna do is get really like into canning, so we can can all of them or freeze them or dehydrate them and just have tons of different kinds of stuff. So my recipe videos will be getting a lot more interesting because I can just be like, look at this lemon balm, like or this lemon cucumber. Because I got these cucumbers that actually look like lemons.
Oh yeah, Jake had those as well.
Yeah.
And so how are you planning, like you seem to just be putting a little, like probably 4 or 5 seeds in one little spot and then in another spot there.
Yeah, we should link them to the video where Jake explains it.
Yeah, he explains it better. So there'll be a number of video links down below.
I actually got locked out of my YouTube account, so I can't upload that video. But when I get back in, that video will be on my channel.
Yeah. So for certain things, they're obviously going to be planted differently, but I think the main thing that he mentioned is the depth.
Yeah.
And explain the depth.
So these are spinach seeds. They're about the size of...
They're small. They're maybe about
half a centimeter.
An eighth of an inch or so.
In diameter. So you only want to plant the seed as deep as the depth is. So most people, the problem that Jake said is that most people plant too deep. So they'll plant seeds like an inch or 2 deep. But that will typically just rot the seed out because the seed, if you plant it too shallow, it will get enough sunlight where it can grow strong enough that the roots will find their way into the soil. If you plant it too deep though, it can just rot and die out because it's not getting any sun and it's getting too much moisture. So the shallower the better. But as a rule of thumb, you want to plant it about as deep as the seed is in diameter.
Yeah. So he mainly said it's better to err on the side of too shallow than too deep. You'll probably have better luck with that.
Yeah, especially small seeds, like when you're doing greens or something like that, you really don't even need to cover them with dirt because once you water them, they're going to sink down into the soil and they'll probably be fine just like that.
All right, so we're going to continue planting this out. So we're kind of spacing them maybe about every 6 inches or so.
Read your seed packet because it will tell you on there.
There you go.
Some plants don't need a lot of space, some need 12 inches, some need more. Like, You'll just have to read the packet.
That's good that they actually say that, because I would have no idea about that kind of stuff. So after we get everything planted in the bed here, then we're just going to give it a nice shower. And we're gonna, definitely for the first probably week or so, we're gonna give this quite a bit of water just to ensure that the seeds have enough water to grow and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, since this is a new bed, we want to keep it real nice and moist. So I think that about wraps things up for this video, and I'm gonna start working on the rain roof, and so that's gonna be
exciting.
So exciting. It's kind of annoying. It's not annoying, but it's kind of, yeah, I guess it's annoying and frustrating. Is that we've probably had at least 2 inches of rain since we've been out here, and that would have been many thousands of gallons of water. So I have to get on that rain roof in case we get any more rain soon. So, all right, we will catch you guys on the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.